We have an exciting one today. I've been talking to you or hinting at this one for a little while now, particularly when the Gucci Glow Dewy Blushes came out in January. And if you didn't see that review, I have a full review as well as a short featuring all the colors, swatches, samples. But when that video came out and I was talking about my favorite blushes, I said my two favorite blushes are the Gucci blushes and the Valentino blushes. And it's as if the gods heard me because Valentino has come out with their new line of blushes. Now, I think the Gucci blushes are an extension because they're a different formula. The new Valentino blushes seem like they are a replacement for the existing ones, but I'm not sure about that. However, if swatching all 8 of these gorgeous shades, as well as seeing them on the cheeks, seeing comparisons to others from the Valentino line, sounds good to you, then I really would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, follow along, and shop my links down below. Right now, these are only available in Europe, and so you can get them at Selfridges. However, I've been told that they're coming in February or March to the United States. So we're going to go a deep dive today into one of my favorite blush products, which is the Valentino blushes. Okay, let's go. Okay, so the Valentino blushes, the eye to cheek, maybe you remember these. These came out a few years ago, and there were 16 of them total. They had other packaging for like special editions and stuff, but there were 16 of these total, and they're really beautiful blushes. And some of them are more highlightery like this one, and then some of them are more like a standard blush, kind of like this one. Some of them were more matte, some of them have more shine in them. And they had this little brush in here, which was kind of pointless, but you could use it for the eyes if you wanted. And these were marketed as sort of their blush, but also as an eyeshadow. And I really liked them because you could create a really cohesive look with them. The downside to these was the packaging. It was really cheap. It's a mechanical closure. And although it's cute with the little brush and everything, it's a little awkward to store. And they're very, very lightweight. They don't feel like a $50 blush. So when you got into the product themselves, however, these are the most luxurious, beautiful, creamy. They are a powder blush, but they're extremely creamy. They're not a cream to powder, but they almost feel like that. They're the most luxurious blush formula, one of the most luxurious on the market. I think it's between Gucci and this. And one thing that really separated them was that they had 16 shades. They had 12 in their original line, and then they had a couple of special editions and some that were more like highlighters. Really beautiful. I don't know if these are being discontinued. I think they probably are, because I'm seeing more and more colors sold out and I'm not seeing them restocked. But these were 3.6 grams. 0.12 ounces, and does it say where they're made? Paris. So I think they're made in France. Are they made in France? I think so. I have a sticker over it. But really, really beautiful. Well, last fall, we started to see some hints that Valentino was coming out with a new blush formula. It doesn't say that it can be used on the eyes, but all blushes really can be. These are made in France. Just checked this one. And I think the new ones are as well. Yep, made in France. These are 3.4 grams, so they're a slightly smaller pan. I don't see any real difference, really. The difference, however, is the packaging. It's so much sleeker. It's heavier weight. It really feels substantial. It feels nice. It's about the same weight as like a Gucci blush or a YSL blush. It's kind of weighted, and it's a magnetic closure. So those are nice. As you know, the thing that can get kind of frustrating is they can stick together if they're in a drawer too long, or they can even repel. But they came out with 8 shades of this product, And these are the long wear. Oh, they are. Okay, well, that answers it. These are the Color Crush Eye to Cheek. So, yeah, I would say these are replacing them. And again, 3.4 grams, 24 months shelf life, extremely creamy, extremely luxurious. They are refillable, although I haven't seen anything about a refill on the market. And they are in 8 different shades. They're also coming out with a setting powder, which is in a similar container, except it's white. And as I said, they're currently only available in Europe. They're available at Selfridges, and they are $48 at Selfridges right now. So I'm guessing when they come to the United States, they're going to be around $50, which I think is what the Eye to Cheeks were too. But the packaging just feels so much heavier and more weighty. And I will tell you, after swatching them, the texture of them is even creamier and even more luxurious of a powder. Some of them have more of a sheen to them. Some of them have more of more matte, but they're really beautiful. And although there's not 16 colors yet, they are really beautiful colors. So what I'm going to do now is cut in some footage of swatching the different colors for you. And then what I'll do then is show you from the existing Eye to Cheek, the red ones, if there are any that are kind of comparisons. And then we're going to get them on the cheeks. So I'll see you in a few. Bye. So much like the original Gucci Luminous Matte blushes, these are very creamy, but they're a powder. So they're not quite like the new Gucci Dewy Glow blushes where you need to use like a denser brush if you want to pick up product. These aren't like that. So the first color we have here is Stand Out in Nude. And it's a beautiful light pinky shade. And so what I'm going to do is use just kind of a traditional blush brush. I don't need to use something that is very thick or dense. Something lighter will work. And what I will say is that these pack a punch, but they are so beautiful and user friendly that I don't think you would feel like you got too much product right off the bat. So this is Stand Out in Nude. And they just have this really pretty shine to them. But it's not like an RMS shine. This is much more subtle. Really beautiful colors. And what I'm going to do here, that is one pass of Stand Out in Nude. What I think I'll do is overdo it a little bit just so you can see the color. And I'm dusting off a little bit, but not much is coming off because these are so creamy. So this is Stand Out in Nude, which is a pinky shade. And then there's another one, what's it called? I think it's called Couture in the Streets, which is also a nude shade, but it's more of a kind of caramely nude or like a tan nude. So let me find that one because I figure you're going to want to see comparisons between some of the shades. So this is Couture in the Street. This is a really beautiful color. And in fact, there's another nude too called 5 a.m. in Nude. So we have three that are kind of more in the nude range. So you know what we'll do? Let's do 5 a.m. in Nude over here because it's a similar depth, but this one's more neutral where this one's more pink. These just blend themselves out and they feel so different on the skin to a normal blush. They just feel so luxurious. It's like they've taken that beautiful formula that was in the original Eye to Cheek and they've just made it even better. That is a beautiful color. Okay, so what we have here is 5 a.m. in Nude over here. And Stand Out in Nude over here, which is a pinkier version. So 5 a.m. in Nude and Stand Out in Nude. I think those are both really beautiful and I could keep applying, but I don't want to overdo it. But as you can see, even with 1.5 passes, really, really beautiful product. Okay, let me wipe these off and then we'll come back and we'll look at two more shades. Okay, so I put a little bit more of my foundation on, but as you can see, my cheeks are getting a little red. I'm just using the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh tint because it's really light and it's not going to alter these colors because I want you to see as true as they are. So the next one I have is that one called Couture in the Sheets, and I think this is just a really unique, as Alicia Archer would say, a terracotta. Perhaps it's lighter than a terracotta. It's like if terracotta and a nude had a child. Really beautiful though. Okay, this is one pass, so this one's got a great amount of pigment. But you can see it's giving you that kind of caramely shade. Really beautiful, and it has a little sheen to it, but it's really just a beautiful creamy blush. There's no actual glitter particles that I can see, but really beautiful. And like I said, I'm overdoing them a little bit, although that was really just one pass. So some of these really pack a punch, but you can always use a fluffier brush. I'm just using a Rephr 5 right now. Okay, then the next one we have, what would go well comparison wise? I guess we want to keep the pinks together and the bolds together. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so this next one is called Born to be Extra, and it is kind of a orange creamsicle kind of color. I say that because some of these, and you probably saw in the comparisons, do have similar colors, but none of them were perfect matches to the original Valentino, and none of them, I think, were exact dupes. So this one is Born to be Extra, which is the orangey peachy one. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty. I'm going to build that one up just a little bit more. I guess this would be considered kind of their coral. A peachy kind of coral one. Okay, so on this side over here, we have Born to be Extra. And over here, we have that beautiful Couture in the Streets. Born to be Extra, Couture in the Street. Okay, I'll get these off. We'll try two more. See you in a minute. Okay, reapplied. They are burning, the cheeks, but what I will do for y'all, it's not as if I don't love these products and love having them. So I grabbed a Shoto 5 first because I was tired of dusting off that other, but the Shoto 5 is a little, it has those uneven hairs on the end, so you can get more of kind of a watercolor effect. And I grabbed that because 3 of the 4 that I have left to show you are bolder. So I want something that's a little bit, going to pick up a little bit less product. Now this is not one of those. This is Spike a Pose, which is a really beautiful, this one actually does have kind of a metallic-y sheen to it, but I don't see any visible glitter particles. And this is also kind of a nudie pink. So let me show you what this one looks like. Yeah, I can automatically tell with this Shoto 5 it's picking up less product. But you can see they blend, they almost blend themselves out when you have a beautiful brush like the ones from Refer. This one does have a really nice pearl kind of shine to it, but it's subtle. So this is Spike a Pose. That's one pass. That's really beautiful. I'm going to build it up a little bit just so you can see it, because I never know how these come across on TVs. That is a pretty color. And there was one in the original series that was somewhat similar to this one. And then the next shade I have is called Extra Pink. And it's just as pink as they're going to come. And this is going to be kind of your Barbie pink. So let me put some of this on for you. And this one there actually wasn't a exact dupe for in the original series. This one's a little creamier and a little bit more refined, I think, in color than some of the originals. But when you get it on, you can see it is the pinkest of them. And I'll build it up for you. I always think I'm going to get like a package or something delivered, and I'm going to go to the door and I'm going to look like a nut job. Okay, so on this side over here, we have Extra Pink, really beautiful. And on this side, Spike a Pose. When I was checking these out for comparisons, I thought the Extra Pink was going to look a lot like Pink is Punk, which was one of the special edition ones, but it really didn't. So again, this is going to be your most pink, bright one. And then this one's really pretty. It's a more subtle pink. So these are the two that are kind of pink options. Okay, take this off and then we'll come back and look at the two really. Okay, and the last two I have are kind of the most bold ones that are currently available. I hope that they, extend the line, because one thing about the original Valentino Eye to Cheeks was that they had a lot of options for people that had darker skin tones, including one that was like the deepest purple blush I have. So I'm hoping they'll extend that. But for an original 8, these are really beautiful. So the next one is called Red Fiesta, and this is kind of your brick red. So going to be really popular, I think. But look at that. So I'm going to go very lightly on this one. Now, obviously, I'm going light, but I'm also over applying so you can see the color. But one thing I can say is it's not patchy. It's not streaking. It looks really beautiful. And you can imagine this on a darker skin tone. If you're my skin tone or lighter, you can get away with it. You just want to go much lighter in application than I just did. But no one can say these are not pigmented, but they are really beautiful. So that's Red Fiesta. And the last one is called It's Valentino, Baby. And it's kind of a berry color. So they really have covered your kind of primary blush colors with this original launch. You've got reds, you've got pinks, you've got nudes, and berries. So this will be interesting. Again, a lot of pigment. But again, they go on so smooth. And I have dry skin right now. And sometimes with these darker blushes, they'll get streaky or they'll look, crazy. Now this obviously in this part here where I have dry skin is catching a little bit. But again, you'd want to use a much lighter hand than I'm using. I'm just showing you. This is Red Fiesta, and this over here is It's Valentino, Baby. Beautiful. I look a little crazy right now, but beautiful colors. Okay, I'm going to even these out and maybe put a little foundation over them to get them to calm down a little bit, and then we'll come and we'll wrap up. Okay, I tried to even those up a little bit and put a little foundation. It's still more than I would normally wear, but what I can say is if you use a light hand, you can make them work. And no one can say that there's nothing in this line that would work on darker skin tones or that would provide you with a really bold, bright color, because those were really intense, those last two. But you can see here that I've tamed them down and they look really beautiful. So I love the Valentino blushes. I'm so excited that they've come out with new packaging. I have a feeling that Valentino, under new creative director, is going to probably change a lot of their packaging. And I like a lot of Valentino products. I've never been a big fan of their eyeshadows, but they'll probably redo those. But these eye to cheek, and these are called COLORCRUSH eye to cheek, are really great on the eyes. Again, if you struggle with reds or purples on your eyes, you might want to be careful, because I do know that a number of you have messaged me and said that red and purple eyeshadows and blushes on the eyes can cause you to have a little bit of an allergic reaction. So we certainly don't want that. By the way, I have a purple eyeshadow on today that hasn't launched yet, but if you've been following like Ambient Beauty Talk or Makeup, so those different pages, you drop down below what you think this is. I think it's really cool. I really like it. But anyway, back to the Valentino, really beautiful. Let me read you quickly what their claims are, and I would say that these are so beautiful and silky feeling that I think their claims are exactly right. Unlock infinite artistry, the versatile application of COLORCRUSH, the Valentino COLORCRUSH Blush Eye to Cheek. Benefits: discover COLORCRUSH, a versatile silky soft powder blush that delivers buildable, high purity color with a radiant finish thanks to Roma Light Complex, trademarked, color enhancing pearls. Experience comfort, lightweight feel, boasting long wear color up to 12 hours with no smudging. And that I can attest to. Went on so smooth. All housed in iconic full aluminum and gold magnetic case. Get ready to be crushed in color. 3.4 grams, made in France. And again, they're currently on the Selfridges website. I'll change it over to American websites on future links, but if you'd like to pick them up now, you certainly can down below from Selfridges. And they have that package where you can spend like $100 and get shipping throughout the year. And so that's what I tend to do. And right now the tariffs are not quite as bad. So you just want to watch those sort of things. And then oftentimes Selfridges will have better prices on Valentino and Prada for some reason that make it, even with the tariffs, comparable to what it is here. So just something to think about. But again, they're going to be coming out in February or March here anyway. But hopefully today you've got to see the products. You've got to see them in action, swatches, comparisons, all that goodness. If you like this kind of content, because my cheeks are raw, so I would love a thumbs up. Like it, subscribe, follow along, and shop my links. Share me with other people that would like this kind of content, because I try to be very thorough. And so I want everyone to be able to see as much as they can about a product before they purchase it, because God knows makeup is expensive. So anyway, big thumbs up on the Valentino Color Crush, and I really appreciate you joining today. Thanks, everybody. Bye.